Hello everyone, in this video, you will see how to remove gimbal, decoupler, and backhaul module. Okay, we demonstrate the disassembly of the decoupler first. First of all, the decoupling device is under the drone. We wrap the wire around this aluminum pillar to it. We need to cut these ties first. Find the wires that you dragged over, be careful when clipping. Prevent wires from being cut, and we just pressed and through it. Turn around and go up here this line. Let's go find them one by one. We see this thread. Good, follow this thread to find it. Be careful when looking for it. Good. Here it is. We're going to cut the thread. Be careful when clipping. Good. Be sure to remember where he plugged the cord. Let's take a look. It is the 6 that is inserted on top. That is the blue 6. We unplug it. Blue 6, then on the servo, there are 3 wires in total. One is the signal wire we just unplugged. The other 2 are the positive electrode and G&D. Then, it is glued to this place. Let's see how to get rid of it. We need to take a screwdriver and change it. Be careful when handling it. And what about this end? There are also glued to the divider plate. Glued to the divider plate. So if you need to remove the decoupler, first of all, you need to take the divider apart. Then next, let's first disassemble the receiver on the divider. And what about this receiver? It is a part connected to our remote control. We send data remotely. He went to receive. He went to receive. In case of my receiver, it's glued to this divider. Let's remove this screw first. Good. And now under of this divider. This receiver has already come down. This divider is just... I made an isolation from him. This divider is useless, just to prop up this receiver. Let's put this receiver aside because of this decoupler. There are 3 wires in total. One is the signal line. There are also positive and negative electrodes. And what about the positive and negative electrodes buck through this? It's a buck plate. The buck plate dropped 5 volts, got it on the divider. Then the first thing we need to do is remove the 2 wires from the divider. Right, so let's cut it off first. Be careful when cutting. Never cut the thread. Deal with it first, okay? What about these 2 lines? That's it, the 2 wires that connect the buck. How do you get rid of it? We're going to get solder. I'm going to take that soldering station. The soldering station is going to melt them. Good, when we heat the soldering station at a sufficient temperature, you can scald these 2 threads off. Be careful not to take other threads down. We can be appropriate. Turn up the temperature of the soldering station a bit, and this one, turn off the soldering station. Well then, the 3 lines of the decoupler at this time, we've all taken it down. And then we want to put this buck module, walk it through this hole. Be careful when throwing it. Wear it into this slit again, then press it down on him. Let's put it here first, and then what? That's it. Remove the 4 screws of the decoupling device, and the last one good. We removed all 4 screws and 3 wires. We now just need to add the regulator module. You can pass through this gap. Good. This is our decoupling. It's just a servo, and then it's on top. You can put a battery on top of this toucher. We're using this $10,000 micro battery. And what about the back? Of course, you can also upgrade it yourself. For the convenience of the future. This board, it can withstand a $20,000 MyBot battery. Purchases can also be made on the platform. The following is also equipped with a Velcro for everyone. It will be safer when you're using this remote control, spiral buttons. So this decoupler, it's normal that it's like this. It's locked. If we press the button, it'll turn the hook. It was loosen the default, and you'll go back. This is a 5-volt step-down module. It came out of the divider. It is let out for servo use. The servos are powered by 5 volts. Next, let's demonstrate the disassembly of the gimbal. First of all, we need to know what kind of wire is connected to the gimbal. Same as decoupler. The gimbal also needs to be bucked. From the pressure divider plate to the voltage regulator. Then connect to the gimbal. That's over here. The gimbal has 2 signal wires. Let's unplug the signal wire first and put the 2 wires that come out of the divider. Take it off. Be sure to remember the order. When you unplug the wires, remember this order? So we're going to do it in this place. Just unplug it and you're good to go in the row below. The white one is a little bit more front. There are 2 wires, red and white. The white ones are leaning against the front. Leaning forward is this direction of the gimbal. Okay, let's go along these two power wires. Go ahead. Forward, forward, forward. Don't make the wrong mistake. We disassemble one component at a time. These are the two wires. For these two wires, we'll do the same thing. Use a soldering station to connect these two wires. Blanch off, scald off. Let's give him a record first. And what about it this time? We need to remove the screw first of all. So this one has some lines on it. We can unplug it first. Unplug it first. Be sure to remember it. Remember the order. It's sealed together. So there's no problem just unplugging it. Keep in mind which one is ahead of the curve. The black one is leaning on the front. Let's tear it down first to prevent problems. We'll tear this down after we're going to tear it down, plug it into the pin header. It's the same thing here. The one on top is black. The bottom one is white. It's all in front. Lean in front. The top is black. Underneath is white. Don't get confused. We'll plug it back in. Don't put it in reverse order. The bottom is white and the top is black. Good. So what about this time? This one has been heated. We soldered it off for him. Be careful. Okay to unplug. So what about this side? There are also two screws, the same way to give them to. At the same time as the disassembly is done, you need to hold it with your hands. Screws are collected. Don't lose it. What about these two threads? Let's look at its routing. Cut this wire tie off. The thread on this side should be cut, and the wire tie should be cut off now. Let's cut out this part in front of this first. It's in this location, be careful. The regulator plate blocked. If it is blocked, we will break it off with a stabilizer plate first. There is no problem here, good. That way, we, the platoon, will be able to pass through this side. I've passed through it. There's another thread over here. There is also a line. We unplug it, and remove this camera first. Unplug it first, and then later. Follow this place, we can do that. Because this is a restrictor board. Regulated power supply. The regulator plate is placed in this place. It's not easy to take. We can start from here. This way, look for this thread. Find these two lines. Good. Because this place has a wire tie, yes, we can cut it open first. That line, connected to the OSD, we'll just pull it off. Good. Go find another thread. Another wire is connected to the receiver. It's a black one, black. What about this red and blue? We can also follow his line to find it. Find out. In fact, this red and blue is the control line. Yes, control line, drag it off, see where he is. It's blue. 80 or 98, 910. Just drag it off, so good. The gimbal was dismantled by us. These are the parts of the gimbal. Okay, then we need to do a little further disassembly. You can remove these screws, tear it down. At this point, this is completely out of the drone. Completely detached. Hello, everyone. This is dropping. We need to upgrade this later, then you can install it yourself. The gimbal you bought, there is no such board as this. These two are so tight. Thanks to engineers, you can unscrew it out for him manually. And then let's use a screwdriver to unscrew these two screws. Then, we're going to demonstrate this drone's disassembly of the radius remote control receiver and carriage return module. So let's see this one first. It's the receiver of the radius remote control. Let's take a look at what his threads are connected to this wire. This wire and this wire. These two sets of wires, what about this set of lines? It's to receive a signal from the remote control and send this signal to the flight controller. What about this set of lines? It was connected to the wire tie. So what about the tie down there? It's connected to the backhaul module. Let's cut the wire tie first. Be careful when cutting. Be careful to cut this thread. Good, it's down there. There's a pin header. The pin header is so good, let's start with this. This set of threads is unplugged for it. Remember, it's in this position. This distribution board didn't work. Just to brace it up. Okay, then let's take a look at the one below. It's a backhaul module. Good. That's this module. This one. This module. Let's take a look at its plug wires first. Plug wire and G&D, it's black. The red ones, it's 5 volts. Then this one is SCLSDA, this IIC protocol. We put it down for him. Let's just unplug this wire. So that receiver, I've already torn it down too. And then there's a backhaul module on the back. We're going to let this backhaul module cut it out. Okay, so that's our backhaul module. Okay, if you enjoy this video, subscribe to our channel. See you in our next video.